Homelessness is an issue everywhere in the country. We have seen places that have not handled it at all or not handled it well and how out of control it has gotten. There are a couple of things that I think need to change in attitude. I still think people need to be responsible for the way they behave. I'm not heartless. This is something that comes from a good place. But people that are homeless still have to obey the law. I live in a fairly nice neighborhood. At least it was nice until I moved in, but I live in a fairly nice neighborhood. If I were to be in my front yard and I pull in my driveway and I'm sitting there and I'm smoking crack cocaine or I'm injecting drugs, if I'm doing something like that and a police car drives by, they're going to arrest me. If I'm relieving myself on the sidewalk, they're going to arrest me. If I'm involved in some kind of sexual activity in public, they're going to arrest me. That's the law. You're breaking the law. So people have to know we are going to do everything we can to help you. But you have to be the one that helps yourself. We're going to give you resources. We're going to do what we can for you. And I think that's an honorable thing that we should do in our society. But ultimately, you have to live by the rules that everybody else has to live by. You know, I talk about the things that are just kind of inconsiderate, but it's important. There are a lot of hardworking people out there. I'm an advocate. As much as I'm not a big fan of light rail and the way we do it, I'm a big fan of public transportation. I think that it's a vital part of our community for people that don't have cars to be able to get around, can't afford Rideshare. I think it's an important part of a community to have a good public transportation system. But, you know, if you come to, I get here pretty early in the morning. When you drive by bus stops and you see shopping carts piled up and somebody sleeping on the bench, and then you've got people that are waiting for the bus that have to stand the whole time because there's somebody sleeping on the bench. That's impolite. It's not the right thing to do. And it's not cruel to say to somebody you can't do that or wake up and go somewhere else because people are waiting for the bus and want to sit down. My point is we've got to stop treating people the way we treat them in a bunch of different ways. We should be doing everything we can. The cleanup of the zone should have happened a long time ago. There's nothing the city can do about that. They probably realize it now that they waited far too long thinking they were following a federal law or a decision made by the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. But a Superior Court judge said you've got to clean it up. Well, now they're finding out that more people are coming there. What happens when there are services that are there? I had a conversation with somebody about a specific place. 32nd Street north of Oak, which is between Thomas and McDowell, there is a park on the west side of the street. Just on the south side of the park is a dollar store and a little shopping center that was lined with homeless people. Tents were set up. There was debris everywhere. There was trash everywhere. They were finding drug paraphernalia in this park set up with soccer goals because it's the only place, really the only green space where kids can run around and play. And it's a very popular park for kids and adults. And all that stuff was going on there. That has to be cleaned up. You can't do that. And somebody said, well, we should be putting in water stations and porta-johns, and that would solve part of the problem. No, what it would do would attract more people there. And that's the concern. You look at the zone, more people get attracted there. I think we need to have services for homeless people. I am someone that thinks the homeless crisis is a human crisis. I really believe that. But we've got to stop saying to people that are breaking the law that just because you're down on your luck or you've had bad circumstances, you're out on the streets, that you don't have to obey the laws. Yes, you do.